Good afternoon, Pastor Stephen Ologun and Adekunle Adebayo. I welcome you back to my show, Dream Dabusa. Without wasting our time today, our case study based on Mr. Femi Falana, one of the senior advocates of Nigerian. I will first of all call Pastor Ologun to describe who is Mr. Femi Falana, one of the senior advocate of Nigerian.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Yes. We all know. Lawyer Femi Falana is a very popular Nigerian. I call him our pride in Yoruba land. Briefly, he was born in Ilawe, Ekiti in May 1958. We wouldn't be too concerned about his primary and secondary education at this time, but we know that he went to the University of Ife of old, popularly known as Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife today. He studied law between 1977 and 1981. Like any other Nigerian, he did his NYSC. He was called to bar in 1982. After completing his NYSC, he joined Alao Aka Bashorun Chamber there in 1983. And he built his career through the ranks of lawyers and solicitors. Then he started his own chamber in 1991. He was very popular as a lawyer. He became more popular as a human rights activist. So he was an activist, a human rights activist. Yeah, like I said, he is our proud citizen, someone we love and treasure so much in Yoruba land. He's from Ekiti, but he's predominantly a Nigerian and a Yoruba son. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Stephen Ologun. Adekunle Adebayo, you've listened to what Pastor Stephen Ologun had just said about Mr. Femi Falana, one of the senior advocates of Nigerian. I want you to add to what Pastor Stephen Ologun had just stated. Maybe you have anything also to add.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Mr. Femi Falana is a very big name in our scope in this country, especially in the legal profession and human rights activism. He is an erudite, an emeritus, and human rights lawyer and activist. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria. That is the highest rank of people in law, in Nigeria. He has risen to the highest position in this country in the year 2012 in terms of what he has done for the bench, for the benchers, that he has been a very vocal defender of the voiceless, and he has been an human rights activist. His engagement, like Pastor Logan started, called to bar in 1991. He's been there and was adjudged to be a senior advocate. He was given the award of senior advocate in the year 2012. This around the time he was even trying to round up his practice and begin to do his activism and giving back to the society in terms of pursuing human rights crusade and activism. He has won so many awards internationally and locally. It's also a, for instance, if want to dwell into some of his awards, in addition to the background things that Pastor Logan has told us. This is a man that is won the American Bar Association International Human Rights Award, and also won the Defender of the Year Award in the year 2000, in the year that far back. Also won the Defender of the Year Award for International League for Human Rights, in New York. Bernard Simmons Memorial Award for Human Rights too. He won that, and the International Bar Association Award. He also won something, which is what is called Ganifa Emi Lifetime Award on the most consistent advocate for human rights and civil liberties in Nigeria. This is an erudite scholar. He's also written books, both in the law profession. He has also helped with the text of proceedings of law in Nigeria. He's been a very great practice, how do you call it, contributor to the Nigerian judiciary. He has done so much, and presently is the managing director of the Legal Text Nigeria. That is the people that put all the legal happening in text for posterity. Is also the editor-in-chief of a weekly report presently in Nigeria, from the bar, that is from the legal profession. A member of the editorial board of Vanguard newspaper, and also is a member of the Network for the Defense of Journalists in West Africa. Among all these things, there are so many accolades that we can adduce to Mr. Falana. Falana is a family man. His wife happened to be a lawyer just like him, and the son. They are all, their names started with letter F. Fumi is the wife. Falani is the son, called the Fax, the bad guy. Then his own name is Falana. Those are the family. The three of them are lawyers by profession. So this is kind of icon, the kind of person you see in Falana. Then dwelling into the Nigerian politics and the general well-being. He is being a very vocal voice, supporting the rank of activists in terms of human rights proclamation. People like Fawemi he has been loggerhead with Olisa Agbakoba and the rest of them. So he's been a vocal point in Nigeria, and is known, is well known. And that is when anytime his name is called to a case, everybody thought, he's the right person to do it. He has that influence because of what he has achieved in the bar. So let me pause here, and let's continue in the process, in the talk, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adekunle Adebayo. As both of you mentioned, his achievements and his contributions to the Nigerian law society and Nigerian activities concerning the human rights works that is doing for people, either free or no free. Now, this Mr. Femi Falana, Adekunle Adebayo, which class does Mr. Femi Falana belong to?
It depends on the
Nigerian society.
In Nigerian society, it could also be termed as elite. Is elite not because he has money, but he's knowledgeable. He's also somebody that You could be called, I cannot remember but I know he won one of the Nigerian merit awards. I don't know which of them he has, but because this is somebody that has done so much for the country in terms of giving voice for the voiceless. We will call him an elite. He becomes to the elite class, not because of his money, but because of his knowledge and because of his level of what do you call it, empathy for the less privileged in the society. I'll call him an elite because he's at that class. This is a person that has a law firm, and he's still in it's like he's one of those people that makes our legal profession to breathe today, and he's still there standing. He's still active. He's contributing. He's done so much for himself, just like Pastor Ologun started. He's a pride of the Yoruba race. However, politics, because of his activism, he dwell into politics, never here nor there. But sometimes, you cannot, since he's not God, he can't be perfect. But he's a very, very strong name in Nigeria. And across the world, his name rings a bell. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adekunle Adebayo. Pastor Stephen Ologun, we've listened to Adekunle Adebayo. Which class can you put Mr. Femi Falana? Which class does he belong to in Nigerian society?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm not a pro-class allocation. So the moment we start mentioning class in Nigeria, I believe it is the work of people that are ignorant. Because the moment you start classifying yourself in any society, you are automatically saying that this society is disintegrated. It is broken down. It belongs to different group of people. But what I have known this great man for is that he is the voice of the voiceless. He is a man that is easily accessible, easily approachable. He brought himself down to the level of fellow human being of all category. So such a man should be seen more as a man of the people rather than a man of the class. Now, if you want to talk about his achievement, of course, he has done very well for himself and for the society. He is a man of excellent reputation. He is a man of excellent character. He is a man with dignity. And indeed, a lover of his people. So I will call him a mini local Messiah, because Jesus is the Messiah of all to many, because he has fought the cases of so many people, some of which has got nothing to pay him. So he's a good man, so to say.
Thank you very much, Pastor Stephen Ologun. Let me ask one question.
Okay.
Adekunle Adebayo.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that Mr. Femi Falana tried to be reasonable, but he did not like it? Do you think Mr. Femi Falana tried to be reasonable, but he did not like it?
That's a contradictory question. Not naturally, when you see a person of Femi Falana is from where we said he likes to act like a voice to the voiceless. He also have empathy for people. You understand? When you look at some of those, definitely he wants to do well. He wants to do good for people. He wants to be part of good in the society. He want to, but then you know how society can be in terms of managing individuals. Individual cannot align. Individual cannot just say the same thing about person. That is the diversity of human being. Human being is arguably the most dangerous thing to manage because people take sides. So whatever thing he may have done, like I said earlier on, Falana is human, but I think he's done more good than harm. And his position also could be likened to a situation whereby to some people, it may not be a good thing because maybe his action probably exposes some of the ills in society. They may see him as talking too much without providing solution and everything. But you see, it is when one is in power. The power thing he has not gotten. But the few thing we see in his own space is he came up as a voice for the voiceless. And anytime around he sees something that is not oppression in any situation, he likes to back the person that is being oppressed. So when you like it, I mean, when we want to say that he wants to do good, and he's doing it, but to what extent is the society seeing it? So sometimes the society might see it rightly, the other time they may not see, but it's just like people judging based on their own positions. So people like to take side, but by and large, Femi Falana has been a success. We leave God to judge the rest. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adekunle Adebayo. Before I throw another question to Pastor Logun, you've mentioned empathy, and when somebody is empathy, showing the sign of empathy, it must show the sign of compassion as well.
Sure.
And then you mentioned oppression here. Now, whereby I'm coming to that area, but what do you really mean by continuously mention that Mr. Femi Falana, has empathy? Just 1 minute.
Okay. You see, in most of the things he does, and even when you look at his biography, the word empathy is what drives Falana to take human rights to the highest top, and is known across the world. He has been given not more than 2 or 3 awards in the US, all because they see him empathizing with the low privileged people.
Because he showed empathy and compassion.
He showed empathy and compassion to the less privileged. Okay. And this has earned him a global recognition in so many times and ways. You understand? He's been in so many organizations across the world based on he has that compassion to belong or to be associated with the less privileged, and to also take their case. He's done so many, and even I think the Mohbad case, he will not even take anything. But then he entered it. Who is he fighting? Maybe he's fighting, what do you call the name? Was the boy that say was Ale, he was molesting Mohbad. But then he has gotten it by legal right. Those boys did not kill the guy when he died. And whatever led to why the guy died. So sometimes, and that's why I said we need to draw the line. in one of the cases, some of the places that Falana might want to enter to because of his compassion and empathy for the less privileged, for the to defend the voiceless, he can also step on toes. He can even miscalculate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Adekunle Adebayo. Pastor Stephen Ologun, let me throw this question to you. Do you agree that reason has always existed, but not always in a reasonable form? Do you agree that reason has always existed, but not always in a reasonable form?
Yeah, I mean, this is a philosophical word. Yeah, everything in life has a reason behind it. That's the interpretation. Everything that happens, whether good or bad, has a reason behind it.
Okay, thank you.
The reason may not always be favorable to the people around. It may not always be favorable to the people it happened to. But we should all accept that everything happens for a reason. So depending on how you see it, depending on how you view it, depending on how you take it, things happened for a reason or for reasons, so to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Stephen Ologun. Let us move to another stage in the area of lifetime of Mr. Femi Falana. Mr. Femi Falana is a public figure in Nigerian, either in a law arena or in any government or anything that's concerning the local arguments or any case in Nigerian. He's been there and handled it either successfully or unsuccessfully, but he still built the name for himself. Let us quickly come back to what is happening now. The case that surrounded his family empire, as I can say. There was a video that leaked through Bobrisky friends due to some reason or other, whereby Mr. Femi Falana Mr. Femi Falana's family's name was being mentioned, his name and his son, Fax. With this, upon the legacy, upon the achievements, upon the so-called hard work that the man has been, doing for years ago to this present moment. When this case happened, Adekunle Adebayo, do you think that Mr. Femi Falana supposed not to take Very Dark Man or sue Very Dark Man for 500 million for defamation of character instead of Mr. Femi Falana to attack Bobrisky? Where Mr. Femi Falana is, why is he attacking Very Dark Man?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, you are correct. This is a legal man. His life is based on these fundamentals of constitutions and rules of engagement. So you will expect him to, first of all, at least the news about the allegation of a leaked audio was actually taken out by Very Dark Man. He said he listened to something and the names of Mr. Femi Falana was mentioned. So just like Pastor Ologun also said, what was Very Dark Man reason? His reason is to probably expose people through all this, their whistleblowing and gossips. Sometimes we look at it from the fact of whistleblowing to eradicate or to expose ills in the society, but sometimes too, he ridicules some personality. So based on the fact that the reasoning and the intention of very dark man, that is why the man has to. Why are you emphasizing? You see an audio, fine, but because Femi Falana name was there and the name of some people you want to expose, you want to know how Falana is connected and all the stuff. And you know, in seeking justice, don't take laws into your hand. First of all, sue very dark man, and the court also exonerated in this case. This I don't know. It's not too clear, but I don't know the position of the law. But then that was the fact, that was the verdict, that was the decision that was made. But you will expect somebody of Falana caliber to take this to court when he sees that his name is being maligned, especially with somebody he said he has not seen before. But however, very dark man too was very smart to apologize and said that, oh, it's not me that mentioned your name. Sorry, I had your name being mentioned on an audio. That's why I come up, and that I'm sorry. I didn't want to ridicule you or malign your image or personality. So it's a tricky thing in the society. But then it's also, to me, it's not something very good. You know, they say fault finders never rule the world. But whether we like it or not, Falana has his legacy. And very dark man is beginning his own legacies too. But then some of the times, I mean, the society will be able to pick, you know, where everybody belongs. But I think Falana has done well for himself, and he's an important figure that can't be just ridiculed like that. So going the law way is the best option for him, and he has been vindicated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adekunle Adebayo. Before I pass another question to Pastor Stephen Ologun, let me listen to this statement. If you limit your choices only to what seems possible or reasonable, you disconnect yourself from what you truly want, and all that is left is compromise. I repeat it again. You limit your choices only to what seems possible or reasonable. You disconnect yourself from what you truly want, and all that is left is compromise. 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 Why Mr. Femi Falana? Why refuse to compromise on this case? Because if you compromise, you should have overlooked very dark man and create a dialogue between the two of them. Because taking to court, to me, is ridicule Mr. Femi Falana, you know, a man of his caliber, someone that is respected in our society. So it doesn't look well to his side. Why Mr. Femi Falana refused to compromise, Adekunle?
By his character and by his antecedents. He's not known to be a person
Just
that
2 minutes, please.
He does not compromise. Compromise, when you look at it, is compromise more or less is a vice, not a virtue. But however, We do compromise in order to let peace reign. However, when it gets to a level in life where when your image is at stake, when what you have achieved in life is going to disrepute, or somebody is trying to malign your image, or trying to paint you in a different way from who you are, or exposing you to the general public in another thing that they don't know you for, you need to prove yourself. You need to try to seek for clarity for people to know that, oh, I'm like this, I'm not like this. I don't know Bobrisky from anywhere. You understand? However, whether this is true or not, we leave that to God. You understand? But the thing, the truth of the matter is that anytime there is a case like this, anytime, everybody will have to, defend your territory. And I think that's exactly what Femi Falana has done. Okay. And I think we cannot assuage him for that. We can't cascade him a bit for that, please.
All right, bro. Okay. Thank you very much, Adekunle Adebayo. Before we go, Pastor Stephen Ologun, we listen to what Adekunle Adebayo had just said. Why Mr. Femi Falana? I don't know if it's taking advice or it doesn't take advice, because nobody's above any advice. President take advice, family take advice. As Mr. Femi Falana had his name mentioned through the leak video, what did you expect from Mr. Femi Falana to do, Pastor Stephen Ologun?
Yeah,
we've got about 2 minutes, please.
I remember a story in the Bible when David was to confront Goliath. King Saul tried to hold him back. He said, this man has been a warrior from his youth. So, Mr. Femi Falana has been a lawyer. He has been in this career almost all his life. So he knows everything about the international law. He knows about Nigerian law in and out. So he knows, he has fought other people's cases. If you have come out to defend other people and something that look so dirty is deposited in your doorstep, then of course every reasonable human being will expect him to rise up and defend his name and defend his integrity. So in all honesty, I don't think he should have done otherwise, because keeping silent will be a good way of admitting guilt. So he has to fight and clear his name. And I believe that's exactly what he has done. And again, of course, if you probe me further, I will say, well, to know the reason behind his action, I either have to go into his heart or go into his head to explore what he has. So he knows better for himself what to do, and he has taken the right step as to what he needs to do. So I think that is what is expected of him, and that's what he has done.
Thank you very much, Pastor Stephen Ologun. Before we go, let me throw this statement to you. Adekunle Adebayo mentioned God in his statement. Thank God you're a pastor. You also mentioned, you refer to biblical fact. You mentioned God as well. Let me throw this question to you, or this statement to you, Pastor Stephen Ologun.
Okay.
There are two kinds of people one can call reasonable. Those who serve God with all their heart, because they know him. And those who seek him with all their heart, because they do not know him. Let me repeat it again. There are two kinds of people one can call reasonable. Those who serve God with all their hearts because they know him, and those who seek him with all their heart because they do not know him. Because they do not know him. So why Mr. Femi Falana did not take one side of looking at an elderly man? Let me look to God's side and take proper look to this case.
Okay.
So as to listen to the statement.
Don't forget, he lives in a society that has its own problem. Our society has some problems that is not going to go away so easily in this generation. We have religious related problem. We have ethnic related problem. Yeah, we have a political or ethnic issues. Now, living in a society that has all these problems, and you want to be very normal, you live in a society where so many abnormalities exist. And being normal in this type of society will be classified as abnormal if care is not taken. So you have to study the society where you live, know what to do in this society to maintain your good name. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time. I will have taken us through some of the things that I know has been normalized in our society and loads of normal things that has been rendered abnormal in our society. So this is the society we live in. And to sail through in this type of society, you have to increase in wisdom. And I believe that is exactly what this great man is doing. He needs to increase in wisdom all this. He has to navigate his way through this type of society where we are. If Lawyer Falana were to be in America or Europe, probably his story would have been completely different from what it is now. So he lives in our society. When you are in Rome, you have to do your best to behave like Romans. That's what I see, and that's all I can say for now.
Thank you very much, Pastor Stephen Ologun and Adekunle Adebayo. But before we go, just one more minute. Are this case becoming messy? In what word? Do you have any advice for Mr. Femi Falana, Adekunle Adebayo? 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much. For the kind of person that Femi Falana stand for, I don't think I have any word for him. I don't think I have any advice, so to speak. We have said it that most times everybody have intentions and reasons. So most of the time, your intention, your reason may not come out to be what you want to that you will actually actualize in the minds of people or in the all of the people. But however, for the kind of person he is, and for the kind of life he has built, it will still be very, very difficult to disabuse the mind of some people that knows him for his great achievements. So I won't tell him there's anything he cannot do. He can dabble into anything because that is his life, especially when he has to do with trying to support.
Okay, you mean you know what to do?
He knows what to do. However, society might take it the other way around. But like I said, you can't advise him as or I mean against him. He has to just be himself. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Continue to be himself.
Thank you very much. Pastor Stephen Ologun, did you have any word of advice or anything to tell Mr. Femi Falana? Just 1 minute.
I should rather go to him to seek advice than to be the one advising him, because the man is knowledgeable enough. So the only thing I will say to us, we Yorubas,
that's
is
nice.
This man is our treasure. We must not allow anyone to destroy him with any form of sentiment, whether for religious reason, for ethnic reason, political reason, or otherwise. God forbid, if we lose him today, we won't have Femi Falana again. Not that we won't have somebody who is also great and knowledgeable, but then from the day Ganifa Wemi died, we don't have Ganifa Wemi again.
That is right.
From the time Awolowo died, we don't have Awolowo again.
Correct.
From the time MKO Abiola died, we don't have MKO Abiola again.
Fact.
These are our treasures in Yoruba land. So if we allow anyone to kill Femi Falana for us, we at the end of the day will be the foolish loser of something that God gave us. So in my opinion, I would rather do my best to defend this man. If he has made mistake, yes, he's a human being. Every human being can make mistake. No one is above mistake. So that's not enough to destroy the good legacy he has built, the good work he has done in the past, and the good name that surrounds him. So why must we allow him to be destroyed under any circumstance? So that's my word to us.
Thank you very much, Pastor Stephen Ologun. Adekunle Adebayo, thank you very much. We've reached the end of the program. I thank you for coming, and God bless you, sir.